Hi folks, Chris here. Today's topic is a brief introduction to modes. I'll probably do a separate video on each of these modes in the future, but I just wanted to give an overview of the 7 modes from the major scale. So just to review, remember that we've got 7 notes in the major scale. Each of these notes has a chord associated with it, and each of those chords has a mode associated with it. First, here are the chords. So we start off on the tonic or the root. We have a major chord. The 2 is a minor chord. The 3 is also a minor chord. The 4 is a major chord. I like to play this as a major 7 chord. The 5 again is a major chord, and this is the dominant of the scale. So if you play that as a 7th chord, you have a 1, a major 3rd, a natural 5th, and a flat 7th. It sounds like this. That resolves really nicely back to the 1. The 6 is a minor chord. The 7 is a half diminished or a minor 7 flat 5. And then we're back to the 1. Now, just as we can build a chord by starting on whatever interval of the scale, so if we start on the 2nd and we build a chord, we get a minor chord, we can do the same thing with all of the notes of the scale, and that will give us a new scale, if you like. Those are the modes. Now, the trick with these is to make sure that you learn each of these modes, their character in their own right. If you are just thinking of starting the major scale on the 2nd note of the major scale and playing it like that, it will just sound like you are playing the major scale. You need to learn the character of each of these modes. So I'll show you. If we play first the C major and play the major scale, and then start on the 2nd. It still just sounds like the C major scale instead of the Dorian mode of the C major. So what I'll do here is play each of these from the same starting point. That way you'll hear the character of each of the modes themselves. Of course, it's a useful tool to learn the modes by starting with what you know, the major scale, and then just start on the 2nd note. But once you've learned them, once you've learned their shapes and their sounds, then you really need to get those under their fingers. Think of them as different scales. So let's play all of these in this C position here. So we'll start with the first one. This is the major scale, also called the Ionian mode, and this is a major chord. The 2nd, the Dorian mode, is a minor chord. It's a minor scale with a natural 6 or 13. So it's characterized by this natural 6 up here. The 3rd is the Phrygian mode. That's again a minor chord. That's a minor scale with a flat 2 or a flat 9. It's characterized by that note there. It's got an Egyptian or Middle Eastern kind of a vibe to it. The fourth is the Lydian mode. That's a major chord. I like to play a major 7. It's characterized by the raised fourth. So it's a major scale with a raised fourth. The fifth is the Mixolydian. That's again a major chord or a dominant chord. It's a major scale with a flat 7th. This is a really big jazz scale. The sixth is the Aeolian or the natural minor. You probably already know this one. The seventh is the Locrian. This is a minor 7 flat 5 chord, half diminished, or if you're just playing the triad, it's just a diminished triad. So this scale is characterized by the lack of a natural fifth. So those are the 7 modes of the major scale. There is some really cool stuff in there. It is really worthwhile learning these, I think. There are a lot of different ways to learn them, to think about them. Probably the easiest way to learn them is to just go up the major scale, starting on each subsequent note. But remember, once you have done that, to get them really in your ear and under your fingers as their own separate scales. As I said, I'll probably do separate videos on each of these modes and some of the other modes that exist, some of the other scales. But for now, that's a good starting point. I hope you have fun with those. If you already know them, if you've got any tips for anyone else, definitely leave a comment below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.